Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Sushmita, and in this video I wanted to talk to you about the book The Palace of Illusions by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. So this book is a supposedly famous feminist retelling where Draupadi gets to tell her side of the story of the Mahabharata. The book has been deemed very revolutionary, groundbreaking tale of feminism, a champion of feminist literature, and it manages to come under the favorite book lists of quite a few Bollywood starlets. But how revolutionary the book really is? Is it really the stalwart of feminist literature that we often hail it to be? Let's discuss. At a first glance, this book is a total win for feminist literature. Draupadi is telling her story as an individual, apart from her role or her identity as the wife of the 5 Pandavas or the person who often gets blamed for the war of Kurukshetra. She's curious, she's inquisitive, she's often rebellious, and she's a dreamer, a thinker, which is great. We need such stories, we need such characters. But if we look deeper, then we will see that even though the story is about Draupadi, the story revolves around the Mahabharata. Through Draupadi's eyes, the book manages to get trapped in the patriarchal world it is supposed to break free from. First, let us talk about Draupadi's agency, or as it fits very aptly the book, her illusion of it. Despite having all the characters, all the facilities a feminist character is supposed to have, her world revolves mostly around men. Let us at the very beginning talk about her love story, or supposed love story, or her, we can call it, obsession with Karn, which have been a point of dislike for the book by many readers, and you will find all those disagreements and dislikes expressed in various Instagram stories, Instagram comments, or various YouTube videos. But my point of contention is not regarding the fact that the author imagined a love story between Draupadi and Karn, because this is a reimagination or this is a retelling. The author took creative liberty with the story and imagined something, which is fine. But my problem is that you are claiming the story to be a feminist retelling, and then you are portraying the male character, which is supposedly a very strong-willed, strong character. Even in the main Mahabharata, she is expressed as this strong, bold woman. You are taking that character and then you are placing her in your supposed feminist retelling, and then you are making her a lovesick, lovelorn puppy. Her thoughts, her inner monologues are often revolving around Karn. Now let us see that dynamic as well. How I feel like this book tried to push forward this toxic obsession or toxic love as something very divine, as something very deep. Let's say Karn and Draupadi's relationship. When Karn tried to participate in Draupadi's Swayamvar, Draupadi humiliated him in front of the court, in front of all the kings present there, asking him the identity of his father. Okay, she humiliated him. So as a result, after that, whenever she met Karn, Draupadi's whole world, her whole demeanor was to impress Karn, was to get some sort of acknowledgement, some sort of forgiveness from Karn. Fine. Then comes this terrible, humiliating ordeal when Yudhishthir loses his kingdom, his brothers, in the game of dice, and then he pawns off his wife, Draupadi, in that game. And then Draupadi is pulled by her hair into the court of the Kauravas. And Karn, he asks Draupadi to be disrobed. In the book, it is Karn who asks Dusasan to take away or to pull away her robes. And I was so frustrated to see that Draupadi was not furious at it. No, she didn't feel vengeful to him about it. She felt vengeful to Duryodhana. Draupadi was mad at Karn in a way that a lover gets mad at another lover. In Assamese, we have a term for it, Obhiman. That means it's a kind of anger that is filled with love, with the expectation from her lover to make amends. In no way I felt any sort of rage from her at this behavior of Karn. And after that point, throughout the book, it was Draupadi trying to justify and trying to make peace with Karn's behavior, claiming that he was repentant for his actions, and he was repentant, and all his actions after that were in penance for that act. But did he at any point of time express it to her? Did he at any point of time express it to anyone before expressing it to Pitama Bhishma? It felt like women stuck in abusive relationships where they try to justify the abuse from their partners by claiming that they love them, and by claiming that after their abuse their partners are repentant, or that they regret it and that they punish themselves, which is not a very healthy position to be in, and which is not a very healthy take on a story that you claim to be feminist. In the chaos of the war, when we are losing characters like Bhishma, Draupadi's mind wanders off to Karn. When we are losing characters like Ghatotkacha, Draupadi thinks of Karn. She is thinking that now that Karn has lost his Shakti Astra, how will he face Arjun? A person who in an open court asks Dushasana to disrobe her. She keeps going back to, her mind keeps going back to Karn. So we have this great feminist character, this strong-willed woman who does not have that much self-respect to move on from a person who disrespected her. Is there any excuse to such behavior? I'm asking you. You tell me. In my opinion, there is none. Now, let us look at how other female characters of this story are portrayed. I loved how Kunti is portrayed as this very complex, flawed maternal character. Instead of falling into the trope of Mahanta ki Murat, the writer portrays Kunti as this matriarch who's careful, who's very intelligent and clever, and manages to raise her son that way. I loved the complex portrayal of a strong woman in this case. But now let us look at the other female characters through Draupadi's eyes. Draupadi, while growing up in her father's palace, she does not identify with the other women. She looks down upon the other women, be it her father's wives or be it the other women or dasis in the palace. She looks at her as if they are very superficial, unintelligent people, and she has this sort of superiority over them because she could not identify with all those other women. Her thoughts are mostly around the men in her life. So again, the book falls into this trap of a woman thinking, I'm not like other women, so I'm better. That should not be the thought process of your central character, whom you claim to be a feminist. Now let us see how Draupadi interacts, or how Draupadi feels towards other strong characters. She is very competitive and she is very reserved with Kunti, which is understandable from the way Kunti is portrayed. But she is also very competitive and jealous of other women. She resents Hidimbi for the sole fact that Hidimbi doesn't idealizes her, or Hidimbi does not revere her like other women do. She is contentious and she is resentful of the fact that Hidimbi is a self-sufficient woman, that Hidimbi is content in her life. She initially dislikes Subhadra, which is understandable. Your husband marrying another woman is not something that you should be okay with. But then she is okay with Subhadra later on when she feels that Subhadra is no competition for her. She often judges other female characters throughout the story. She judges when she feels like Arjun is more tender and more attracted to Subhadra. She judges Subhadra that, oh, because Subhadra is submissive, so Arjun likes her. So men like such submissive women. Yes, she says it in a way that seems like she's considering herself superior because she cannot be like other women. Throughout the book, it felt like Draupadi had this superiority complex. She was always competing, she was jealous of other women. Yes, Draupadi comes to like and respect the other women in her life after the war. agreed that collective trauma brings people together. Collective trauma helps bring solidarity among people, but I do not agree with the fact that strong women need to go through some collective trauma to build solidarity, to respect each other, to appreciate each other. That was one of the big things that made me feel very icky about the book. Now let us come to the game of dice. Duryodhan invites Yudhishthir for the game of dice, where Yudhishthir initially loses himself, his brothers, to Duryodhan, and then he pawns his wife and loses her as well. Duryodhan orders Draupadi to be brought to court. Now that whole scene, the disrobing of Draupadi, it was dealt within just 2-3 pages, okay, and it was very poetic. We did not get to see the rage, the questions of a woman who was humiliated in front of a court with all the warriors standing. Where was her righteous rage? Where is that female rage? It was a great scope to show female rage in all its abandon. It was a great scope to have her question all those warriors, so-called great warriors, standing there while a woman was being humiliated in front of an entire court, in front of them. There was no such thing. It was a very poetic, good kind of a scene in the book. When a woman is faced with such humiliation, I do not think a character like Draupadi especially, will resign to her fate. I do not think at that time we care about poetry of that moment. That time calls for rage, which was very poorly dealt. So, in my opinion, there is a need for us to discuss what kind of feminism the book is actually trying to portray. Compared to this book, I read the book The Forest of Enchantments, which is the story of Sita, which is the story of Ramayana told through the eyes of Sita. In fact, that was a far better retelling than this one. In Sita's story, she is a feminist. She questions. She doesn't leave her grace, her persona, her character, but she still manages to question the so-called rules and regulations of this patriarchal society. Yes, The Palace of Illusions is a great book, simple language. It is a book that can help a person to get into reading. But I feel like the book needed to decide what kind of a story it wanted to tell. The Palace of Illusion, I feel, sells us an illusion of a strong woman. Because yes, Draupadi is telling us her story. She is supposed to be strong, she is supposed to be rebellious, but she still gets trapped into the gaze of patriarchy. She still could not be her own voice. She could not be a voice separated from her longing, jealousy, for her desire to be liked by the male characters around her. When I initially read this book, I did not like it. I could not agree with people gushing about the book, but at that time I could not pinpoint what I didn't like about the book. So I recently read this book so that I could put words to my uneasy feeling while reading the book, and I decided to share it with you guys. Thank you if you have watched my video till now. Thank you for listening to my rants, and yes, I'm pretty sure there will be disagreements to what I said, and I'm open to any disagreements. My comment section is open. Please leave your comments, and thank you for watching. Like this video, share it among your friends, and also subscribe to my channel. Bye.